So, you're new to investing and curious about it. Well, it's always been great when people are interested in investing for the first time. New investors have plenty of questions on their mind, although sometimes they're just too afraid to ask and run the risk of being labeled ignorant. Keep in mind though, it's better to be considered ignorant than to be broke. Investing is a gamble. It's important to know what and where to buy, as well as how much risk to take. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the best investments for beginners, as well as the things you need to know about it. It pays to be well informed when you invest. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that post notification button so you never miss another update from us. Let's start by addressing the question, what is investing? Investing means putting your money into something with the goal of receiving returns down the line. Of course, you can hope to grow the amount of money that you put into your investments, and in most cases, you plan or at least hope to have little involvement after investing your money. Investing is often associated with the stock market. However, there are several ways to invest your money. You can also invest in real estate or even in your own business. Regardless of whichever you choose, you hope to earn money in the future with your investment. So, why is investing important? Investing is important because it's a way for you to grow your money in the future. Although saving money is a vital place to start building a better financial future, your savings will end up getting diminished because of inflation. Your savings account might have the same balance it did 2 years ago, but you won't have the same purchasing power anymore. When you invest, you will grow your money over time and also keep inflation at bay. Historically, the stock market has offered the returns of up to 7% with inflation already factored in. There's also the power of compounding that can substantially increase your nest egg. Reinvesting your earnings over a period of years will give you the benefits of compounding effect. By investing, you make your money work for you. The earlier that you start investing, the more benefits that you will reap from compounding. Now is the best time to start investing. However, before you jump in, there is a couple things to consider. What goals do you want to achieve? Are you investing for the long term or short term? If your time horizon is short, investing might not be the best option for you. Investments do come with inherent risks, and you need to keep in mind that the market is volatile. You need to gauge how comfortable you are with risks and how much risk you are willing to take and can handle. When you invest, a rule of thumb that you need to remember is that you shouldn't put all your eggs into one basket. What you need to do is to diversify by spreading your dollars across different investments. You also need to pay off any bad debts before even thinking about investing. Don't even think about investing or even putting your money into an array of investments without paying off any remaining unnecessary debt. This means any bad debt from credit cards that will put you in trouble with interest payments. Make sure that you're paying that stuff off before you put your money in the stock market. Save yourself from trouble and don't fall into the most common money traps. People everywhere are wasting their money and time with trying to keep up with the Joneses, purchasing the biggest and shiniest car, getting the biggest house, and buying the latest model of smartphone. They are called money traps due to the fact that they are the very thing that will take all your money away, so you have nothing left to put into your investment. You need to spend money wisely so that way you can put yourself in the best position when it comes to making finances grow. You also need to have an emergency fund. Before you start investing, you first must set aside some money for emergencies. A rule of thumb is to put 3 to 6 months of your living expenses into your emergency fund. It will serve as a cushion should something crazy happen like, well, a global health situation. If you lose your job or have unforeseen medical expenses, you'll have the money that you need. It will also come in handy when you have money in case of a recession. Even if you don't end up using it, you will always be able to sleep with peace of mind knowing that there's something available for you to use. You also need to be aware of investing basics. Just as you wouldn't go into battle without the proper gear and ammunition, you also shouldn't start investing without knowing the basics. You shouldn't jump into the stock market without knowing something about it, right? Before you begin building up your wealth, you first must understand what your basic goal is and what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. At the fundamental level, investing is about buying $10 worth of value for only half the price. The ultimate goal of investing is to be able to buy a company for less than its real value. You want the value of your investment to be able to grow over time. There are many investment options available for everyone, but what's the ideal one for beginners? Robo-advisors are, as the name implies, not human. They're computer algorithms that manage your investments. There is low overhead, so they charge low fees compared to human investment managers. Robo-advisors cost anywhere from 0.25 to 0.50% of your account balance per year. Many of these services also allow people to be able to open an account without a minimum. They require little money to get started, so that way they're great options for beginners. Although the algorithm does most of the work for you, you still have to keep an eye on your money. You never want to be completely hands-off, even if the robo-advisor does the heavy lifting. Robo-advisors can also help those who are interested in learning how to invest. It's quite beneficial to see how the service constructs a portfolio and what investment it uses. There are certain services which offer educational content, and some even allow you to customize your portfolio to a certain degree, should you want to experiment in the future. Another great option is index funds. Index funds are similar to mutual funds, but only on autopilot. Instead of getting the service of a professional manager to build your portfolio, index funds track a market index. A market index is a selection of investments which constitute a portion of the market. The S&P 500, for example, holds the stock of approximately 500 of the largest companies in the US. Index funds are more like a passive approach to investing. You track a market index instead of using a professional portfolio management. The good thing about index funds is that they have lower expense ratios. They do have one thing in common with mutual funds, and that is the fact that these investors are also purchasing a chunk of the market with a single transaction. Most index funds do have a minimum investment requirement, but there are other firms that offer a wide array of index funds without any minimum investment requirement. Most people are also familiar with 401ks or other similar employment retirement plans. If you've got a 401k or another type of retirement plan, it's somewhere that you can also put your money in, especially if your company matches a portion of your contribution. That match is also akin to a guaranteed return on your investment. The best thing about it is that there is no investment minimum. You can start with as little as 1% of your monthly paycheck. However, a rule of thumb is to aim for contributing at least as much as your employer matches. If you choose to put money back into your 401k, the money will go directly to your account without ever making it to the bank. Some 401ks may even place your money in the target date fund, but there are also other choices. If this option sounds the best for you, then you need to get in touch with someone from your human resource department. Beginners can also consider exchanging traded funds or ETFs. ETFs work in similar ways to index funds. They also track a market index and have a passive approach to investing. ETFs have lower fees than mutual funds, and just like mutual funds, you can purchase ETFs that also track a market index. One distinct difference between ETFs and index funds is that the former is traded throughout the day and don't carry a minimum investment. Investors also purchase them for a share price, which can also fluctuate. The share price essentially becomes the ETF's minimum investments. It's highly dependent on the fund and can be as cheap as $100 or as expensive as $300. Sometimes it might even be worth more. Brokers used to charge a commission every single time they bought or sold ETFs. However, today most have dropped their trading costs to zero. Should you plan to regularly invest in ETFs by making automatic investments either weekly or even monthly, you should opt for commission-free ETFs, so that way you're not spending money each and every single time. With the advent of mobile phones, there's also been an induction of investment apps. You must have come across various investment apps for both the Apple iOS and Android markets. Nowadays, you don't even have to leave home to make investments. A good example of this is Acorns. It rounds up purchases on linked credit or debit cards and invests your money in a diversified portfolio or ETFs. It works pretty similarly to robo-advisors because it manages the portfolio for you. There's also no minimum amount required to open an Acorns account. So, what investing lessons have you learned? And will there be anything that you could use in this video that you liked? Let us know in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.